Clara had always dreamed of owning a house in the countryside, far from the chaos of city life. When she stumbled upon an ad for a secluded Victorian manor at a shockingly low price, she couldn't believe her luck. The agent mentioned the house had a history, but Clara shrugged it off. Ghost stories never frightened her until she moved in. The house was massive, with towering ceilings and intricate woodwork. At the heart of the living room stood a grand mirror, framed with tarnished silver and engraved with cryptic symbols. It seemed out of place, as though it didn't belong to this world. The first night was quiet. Clara unpacked her belongings, poured herself a glass of wine, and laughed at her paranoia about the mirror. "It's just a piece of old furniture," she told herself. But as the clock struck midnight, she heard faint whispers. Dismissing it as the wind, she went to bed. The next morning, Clara noticed something strange. The reflection in the mirror was slightly off. The room and the glass seemed dimmer, and shadows lingered where none should be. When Clara passed by, her reflection didn't quite match her movements. Curious yet uneasy, she examined the mirror closely. Running her fingers over the carvings, she felt a sudden chill. She leaned in to inspect, a particularly unusual engraving when she swore. She saw something move behind her. Spinning around, she found nothing. That night, the whispers returned, louder and clearer. They didn't sound like the wind anymore. They sounded like voices. Clara pressed her ear to the mirror and the voices stopped. But as she pulled away, her reflection remained staring at her, its lips curling into a sinister smile. Determined to understand the mirror, Clara visited the local library the next day. She found old records about the house, learning that it once belonged to a reclusive artist named Victor Grayson. Rumors claimed he dabbled in dark arts, using the mirror to capture his subjects' souls. The librarian, an elderly woman with trembling hands, gasped when Clara mentioned the mirror. "That mirror is cursed," she whispered. "Many who owned it disappeared. Burn the house down if you have to, but don't stay another night." Clara laughed nervously, but the librarian's words gnawed at her. Returning home, she draped the mirror with a heavy blanket and locked herself in her bedroom. That night, the whispers grew louder, and the blanket was gone by morning. By now, Clara was terrified. She decided to sell the house. But every time she tried to leave, something stopped her. Doors jammed, her car refused to start, and her phone lost signal. She was trapped. That evening, the mirror began glowing faintly. A figure appeared in its depths, a pale woman,